Okay guys, real shit. Have you ever had the thought that you want to be successful? You want to be great at this particular thing. You have a ton of motivation for it, a lot of ambition even. You know how to get there. You know the steps it's gonna take to get there, the painful road it takes. And maybe you've even made an agreement with yourself that you're okay with all those steps it's gonna take. But every time you try, or anytime it gets hard, there's something so deep and internal that makes you quit, that holds you back from it. And that's because your ambition might be what we call unhealthy ambition. Welcome back to Legal Therapy, by the way, where I talk about shit I want to talk about. We're gonna go over the difference between unhealthy versus healthy ambition and how to build a healthy ambition. But first, we must understand where ambition even comes from in the first place. And a lot of people think it comes down to like genetic wiring. I'm sure some of it comes down to that. But your strongest ambitions in life won't just come from the experiences in your life, but your traumas in life. And trauma can be categorized as just a painful experience that you at the time didn't have the tools to deal with. How do traumas turn into ambitions? Well, that feeling of helplessness, of worthlessness, the feeling of inadequacy because you didn't have the tools to deal with it at the time. It creates this metaphorical hole in your nervous system, in your soul that needs to be filled. And the worst part is we start seeing people with success and living in a world where we glorify and like we pedestalize, we love people successful, right? And it's weird because success is this arbitrary scale that we as a society made up. You know, there's different rankings that we all have in our own head of what's that success is. We glorify and love these people, so you get shown them more. And when you see that success, the problem is you don't see the inside of it. You don't know how much pain the person has taken to get there. You don't know if they suffer on the inside while having it. You don't even know if they even want that success. And then we start internalizing that external success as fulfillment, as the means to fill that hole in your, okay, yeah, there we go, you get it. But if you're still watching this video, you've probably come to points in your life where your ambition, it feels like it's run out. Or maybe there is no action taken on what you want. And that's what we call unhealthy ambition. What does unhealthy ambition look like? I wrote a couple things down. Number one, the outcomes of your ambition equal your life. So whatever it is, maybe it's like a work promotion, maybe you want to hit a certain number at the gym, maybe you want it's like a certain amount of money you want to make in your life. When you think about that success, does that determine your happiness? If you watch these videos, you know that like happiness is, you know, a fleeting thing, it's more of an emotion and you can't really force it, and happiness comes and goes, all that shit, and like what we should be searching for is kind of this like internal peace, right? If you become a slave to that number, that success, that outcome, the rest of your life isn't gonna feel fulfilled until you get that. But then the question is, what happens when you get it? Number two, it's unsustainable. Not just the goal at the end, but the day-to-day actions. Like, for example, when I was tunnel vision doing this bodybuilding show, right? I was like, okay, once I get this goal, I'm gonna feel so fulfilled. And I did. I felt fucking amazing. A lot of hard work into it. But the problem was, I was like, okay, this is gonna, you know, fix the rest of my life. But that's not how life works. It's one little event in the millions of things that I'm gonna do in my life. And if that was the peak of the life, how the hell would I sustain such like a painful 0% body fat forever? And that's what I was thinking in that tunnel video. I was like, God damn, I'm gonna have to feel like this amount of pain I'm in for life to feel fulfilled. Number three, it scares you into inaction. Every ambitious goal has tasks to perform together. But if the goal is so scary to you that A, you don't want to perform any of the tasks to get to the goal, or B, you don't even want to switch the tasks to find another way to that goal, because I'm all for doing hard shit, you know? And of course there's some shit that like not everybody can do. Like if the goal is to lose, the ambition is like you're morbidly obese and your ambition is to lose 100 pounds. Of course, a super morbidly obese person is probably gonna scare the shit out of them to get onto the treadmill. But the difference is, does that idea of losing 100 pounds, does that scare you so bad that you won't even take that first step? And number four, is this ambition from the eyes of other people? The classic growing up, like foreign parents want you to become doctor, lawyer, so they put that on you as like a young kid.
Talk to me when you doctor.
Like damn, like over and over they try to make you want that and maybe even start making strides toward it. But eventually when you are alone, you are your own man, you know, you move out of the house and you start chasing it, you can't even continue chasing it. That's probably an unhealthy ambition, because what happens when you get that? Yes, you fulfill the ideals of someone else, but you never fulfill the ideals of yourself. And probably the whole time while you're chasing that ambition, you're thinking about how many other things you could have done that you would have enjoyed more in your short time on this earth. Now that we know what unhealthy ambition can look like, let's talk about what healthy ambition can look like. Before we get into this, in my personal life, I've experienced a wide array of both unhealthy ambition. For me, it was always about chasing like a certain number or like success social media wise, what I wanted since I was a kid. But then I realized the way I was trying to get it, or the certain things I thought I wanted, was definitely because it felt so fucking good to have people praise the shit out of me, right? Like, it just glazing, it felt really good. And of course, everything comes to like a breaking point. And for me, it came to a huge breaking point about a year and a half, 2 years ago, where I dropped everything, man. I was making great cash, I was making crazy views, but like, even though the tasks weren't that hard, the unhealthy ambition of chasing something that didn't even fulfill me made each task feel 100 times harder. Where completely different, a healthy ambition, something like the recent bodybuilding show I did, that was probably the most physical pain I've ever been through in my life. Some of the most mental pain too. God damn, try going from 4,000 calories to 1,000 calories a day, like going from being able to grab your belly fat as emulsified pieces of lard to not even be able to pinch like a little centimeter of skin because that's how much fat you lost. You're freezing all the time, your dick don't work. It sucks. The pain to me was so worth that outcome because there was something even more than an external unhealthy ambition driving. And it's this unhealthy ambition. So let's go into this. Number one, the ambition is realistic with no timelines. A lot of times in unhealthy ambition, we chase things that are absolutely like absurd, especially when you have no skill set for it. Like, I want to make $1 billion. That's awesome. But where the fuck's that shit coming from, man? And you want to make it in what? In 3 years? It makes the goalpost feel almost unattainable. And when it feels unattainable, it goes back to being unhealthy ambition. Scares you so much into inaction. Okay, number two, the comparison is internal, not external. One of the healthiest ambitions I personally have is my goal for my body. Because when I think about like what I look like, I know logically I don't have the genetic capabilities to fucking be the top bodies in the world. It's just not happening. But at the same time, I don't really care. My goals with this, my ambition for it, all the drive comes from just like looking better than I did before. And there's not many other things I have like that in my life. Like the most unhealthy ambition of like trying to make it famous and rich on social media. It's always comparing to other people on this arbitrary pedestal that I choose, right? It's like, it's not even a real pedestal or a real tier list of where I am at compared to other people. It's all in my own fucking head. The thing is, you know, you found a beautiful, healthy ambition when the comparison is internal because it feels so fucking good. It's just things don't faze me. Like if people tell me like I look like shit and I can't, like I'm like, oh, it hurts a little, but I'm like, oh, I'm trying. I like it. I like the journey. Where if you tell me like, oh man, you know, you fell off, your career used to be here, because that's an unhealthy ambition, probably coming from some like dark hole in my life. It doesn't feel very good. It makes me quite insecure. It makes me question a lot of things. Self-reflecting right now. Goddamn. Number three, the journey excites you just as much, if not more, than the goal. If you watch the other channel, you watch any of my other shit, you know that right now I'm on the road, the comeback. It's a powerlifting goal I set for myself to hit a 600-pound squat, a 405 bench, and a 700-pound deadlift, all with abs. Because I've hit close to some of those numbers and I've hit one of those numbers before, but I was fat as shit. This journey excites the hell out of me. I'm only 6 months in. The beginning was a rapid amount of growth. And you know how like in anything that you get good at in life, there's this dip, right? Like at first you're super excited, you make a ton of progress, and then there's this crazy dip. You know you love some shit. You know it's like a real healthy ambition when you don't even care about that dip and you feel almost kind of happy being in that dip. You feel this sense of peace. Like you're okay with being there because you know, one, you're gonna get out of it, and two, you know you love it enough that even in this low moment, I'm saying this because I fucking busted my entire spine 2 weeks ago and I had to stop lifting. Sucks. I was getting the strongest I've ever been. That hurt a lot, but like physically and mentally. But you know it's like the right ambition, the right goal when it just feels so peaceful. It doesn't matter if it's the good or the bad. And lastly, number four of healthy ambition is it makes you take action. When I do think about that unhealthy ambition goal of the crazy multi-million social media star shit, that idea scares me so bad, not because I don't think I can get it, because the means of trying to get it and the ways I know how to get it don't feel right. It just doesn't sit right. Makes me think of these like long nights of doing things that I don't love. Whereas when I think about doing another bodybuilding show in the future, I see all the struggle, I see the pain. When I think about trying to get to these crazy numbers, the 600, the 405, and the 700, my God, I'm probably gonna get injured more times, knock on wood. It's gonna suck. There's gonna be moments of self-doubt. There's gonna be moments of pain. But that excites me. And it excites me so much that it makes me get up in the morning and go to the gym. Even on days I'm injured, I'm weak, it excites me to battle through those hard times. And that's something that's almost unexplainable. And I think that's because it's from a personal, deep ambition. It's a hole that I've already kind of filled within myself. Now in the beginning, I remember the fitness goals being scary as hell. I mean, some of it was external for sure, you know, like got picked on for being a fat fuck and thinking that if I got skinny, people would love me more. So in the beginning, it was a pretty unhealthy ambition and it didn't feel very good. And I go to say that that's okay. Sometimes ambitions start unhealthy and slowly through action and through learning to love it, it becomes a healthy ambition. Okay, what you've probably stuck around this video for. How do you actually build this healthy ambition? First, you gotta kill the unhealthy ambition. I know it sucks and it's a way tougher thing to do than to say. And that's because the ambition might be sustaining your life. Maybe you have that ambition for the crazy amount of cash and right now you're like leveling up toward it and it's giving you enough to, you know, do the other passions in your life, or it's giving you enough to live your life. And that's why I say it's about killing the ambition, not the action. Ambition's fantastic, whether healthy or not healthy, because you build up so many skills in your life. And the thing is, you could lose everything tomorrow, right? You lose your entire body tomorrow. It could be the worst sickness. You could lose your entire business, all your money tomorrow. But if you have built up the skills, knowing how to build things, how to build your health, how to build your wealth, how to build your soul, your spirit, it doesn't matter how bad things get, because you can always build it back up in the same or a different, possibly more healthy way. So once you made like an agreement with yourself to let go of that unhealthy ambition and being okay, being at peace, to start inviting in healthy ambition. Now is the fun part. We gotta find what that healthy ambition is. When you start by looking at your past, right? What journey excites you? What naturally comes to your mind? What would you do if nobody else was watching? What are the topics that keep popping up in your life? We're humans. We're not engineered to be these robots that just like follow other people's advice forever and live the second best life of somebody else. You're meant to go find it yourself, and like things just naturally interest you, and that's okay. Those are things that you don't want to push away. As much as, you know, people say that nowadays, those are things that you want to embrace. You have to be careful here because this process doesn't just take a single day. It might not take a week. It might take a month. It might take years. But the fastest way to get this process done is to spend time undistracted with yourself, actively trying to discover it. Whether that is silently journaling alone, whether that's just turning off all the devices and going to the shower for shower thoughts, whether that's forcing yourself to have a 30 minutes of boredom every single day where you're not allowed to have any external stimulus, so your brain can start like digging deeper for the shit that you actually want. Once you find it, you have to start small. For example, start with the first martial arts class, not the ambition or the goal of the whole fight. If the goal is too big, your brain wants to scare you to not do it. Remember, your brain is here to keep you safe, not successful. So it's always looking for ways to sabotage what you want because it knows the best version of you is going to go through a lot of heartache and pain to get there. Then you must give this ambition like a real shot. There will be moments of doubt, questioning if it's right for you, so many moments of wanting to give up. But remember to follow your sense of peace. A good practice is ask yourself how you feel on a scale of 1 to 10 before you do the task to get to that goal, during the task, and after the task. Let's take the ambition of trying to start your own business. Maybe you've scheduled 3 hours into your schedule to start working on it. You know, before you start wasting like 30 minutes just scrolling online, you're like, fuck, I don't want to start this. I can't do this. You feel like a 2 out of 10. Then when you eventually start, it's tough. It's tough to keep your head locked into it. You're like, dude, what am I doing? I could spend this time in so many other better things. But eventually, once you get the ball rolling a little bit, you start feeling better. You start feeling proud of yourself. It might not be perfect, but you're getting something done. You might feel like a 4, 5, 6 out of 10. And eventually when you finally finish the task, this is the most important part. How do you feel after you finish the task? If you feel the sense of emptiness, it wasn't worth it, of I wasted my time, this isn't gonna help anybody, this isn't even gonna help myself, then I would go back and reevaluate. But if you feel even better, it sounds like you are on a great way to a healthy ambition. Thank you boys for watching episode no fucking clue of Illegal Therapy. Gotta promote myself to make some money. Okay, we got back there, Cookbook of Gains, the only fitness cookbook with 200 plus recipes for both high and low calories for every single recipe. Also, if you want to join the Comeback program, a subscription-based power building program where I write the program every 2 months and we all do the same workout, me and the 100 other dudes in this private group chat, and we're all trying to hit the same goal of staying shredded while getting as strong as possible. It's literally my workout. You do it at the exact same time that I do it with the other dudes. Link in the description, first link. Second link, because first link is the free Illegal Therapy Discord. So if you enjoy topics like this or anything else, or you want to contribute to the video, giving me suggestions of what to talk about, maybe we'll do some Q&A videos in the future, go there. It's free. It's dope. I hope you enjoy this. Peace out, beautiful, sexy motherfucker.